Hi, I'm Daniel with etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the Curt trailer wiring harness on our 2023 Ford Transit 250. Ford Transits are great vehicles and they can do a lot. So whether you're towing with your Transit for work or for recreational purposes, you're definitely going to need some wiring to make everything safe and legal. This is going to be a 4-pole plug, and it's going to send the signals of your vehicle back to your trailer. It's going to send your turn signals as well as your brake lights. It also comes with a dust cap. So that's really nice to have because it's going to be living back here on your hitch. So you want that to be covered to be safe from the elements. Most people just secure their wiring to their hitch with their safety chain loop, and they'll just put their dust cap around like this. And that's perfectly fine, but today we have a blue ox installed, and that actually comes with a welded bracket. Now you will have to get a separate bracket that bolts onto here, and that will house your 4-pole wiring. This harness does have T-connectors, so they will plug directly into your taillights. So the installation's not too bad. You are running the wires over to your taillights, and you will have to run a power wire all the way to your battery. Now, if you don't have the time or tools to do this yourself, you can check out our dealer locator, and we can find a professional in your area to get this installed for you. But if you're looking to do it yourself, follow along, and I'll walk you through it. I got the rear doors open, and I'm going to take out our taillights. I got a T25 Torx bit. I'm just going to remove these 2 fasteners. It's one on the top, one on the bottom. And with the door still open, gives you a little more space. You can get this off. Now this side was really easy, but there's going to be 2 fasteners that are going into the vehicle. And you can get a trim panel tool and usually pry these out if it's proving to be difficult. I'll go ahead and take this out and get this unplugged. And taking that passenger side taillight out will be the same process. Now I'll grab this grommet and pull this out. And I'm going to cut a slit in this. And on this side there's going to be an opening, and I'm going to feed our yellow and brown wires in there. It's going to be a large opening, and I'm going to grab our plugs that have the yellow and brown wire. I'm just going to feed this through that hole. Then I'll put them in that cut we put in the grommet and get this grommet back in place. Now I'll take our factory plug, get this plugged in, and then this will plug into our tail light. They gave us some black silicone in the kit, so I'm just going to use that on that cut we made. Make sure no water gets in here. Now the green wire needs to go to the passenger side, so I'll route this down through this big opening here. And up underneath the vehicle, there's going to be this rubber square grommet. Just going to get that, pry it down, and right there is our green wire. So I'll get this pulled fully down, and I'll route this over to our passenger side. For this green wire, I am going to fish it through the frame here, but I did realize that it is too short, so I will have to cut this and splice in an extra wire. Now I'm going to be using a heat treat mud connector that'll just prevent water from getting inside, and we do have those here at etrailer. Whenever I extend the wire, I'm just going to cut it and splice both ends. On either of these ends, I'll put a heat treat butt connector and get this crimped on. Now I got some airline tubing. If you don't have that at home, you can just use a regular wire fish, but I put this through the frame and tied it to our wiring. Just taped it on there. And now I'll pull this all the way to the other side. Now I'll take an extra piece of wire and get this crimped onto our green wire here. Now I'll grab a heat gun and get this heated up. Ran our green wire up our pillar here, and I just cut a slit just like we did on the driver's side and ran it in. Now I'm going to get this cut down, and I'll splice this into our plug. Now this white wire is going to be our ground. Now it did have a ring terminal on it. I just cut this off and spliced in a bit of a longer wire. Now it does come with a self-tapper in the kit, and you can run this out with your yellow and brown wire and just self-tap it to your vehicle behind the light. You'll never see it. But right here, there's some factory grounds. So I'm actually just going to keep it inside, run it down over here, and get it on one of these bolts. I spliced on a new ring terminal on our ground. Now I'll take an 8mm socket. Get one of these removed. I'll get this put through and reattached. Your kit comes with a long black wire. Now this is going to run all the way to your battery. And I just ran this the same area we ran down with the green wire, that square grommet. So now I ran that up here. I'm going to get a butt connector, get this crimped on, and I'll connect this to the black wire on our control module. I'll take our 4-pole wiring plug and I'll get this routed down this pillar. This will eventually live near the hitch. I'll just get this pulled all the way down to there. Now this black wire that runs down, we're going to run that to the battery like I said, and I'll run it over there and I'll show you the path we take. That black wire is coming down and I zip tied it along the frame, and I just ran it along, and the wire harness starts right here, so I just zip tied it along to that. Went down on this side of the gas tank, just zip tying it to that existing wire harness. And at this point I just ran it into the frame just a little bit, and through this part of the frame. And here you just want to make sure you stay clear of the heat source. The exhaust is kind of really close, so I made sure to go around that. And around this point, I ran it up into the engine bay. Up in the engine bay, we need to locate our positive terminal on our battery. Now I just got a 13mm socket. I'm going to remove the nut on here. Your kit's going to come with an inline fuse, and I'm just going to, on one side, crimp the ring terminal on. And the other side, I'm going to do another butt connector. I'll take our side with the ring terminal, and I'm going to get this. I'm going to try and follow the existing power cable. Should be a slot in here that I can get my wire through, like that. Then I'll put it on our post and get our nut tightened back down. Now this is our black wire that's coming up into our engine bay, and you want to make sure you zip tie this pretty good so it doesn't fall back down. And I'll just get that and crimp it on to our inline fuse. And I'll get this shrunk down. Once everything's connected, you can put your fuse in the fuse holder. And once we get the lights plugged back in, we can test our wiring. Now if you're doing this at home, you can just plug it into your trailer and test them that way, but we have a wire tester. So we'll go through our functions here. We got our running lights, brake lights, and we have our left turn and right turn. About our control box, I'm just going to clean this up with some alcohol and give you a sticky pad in the kit. Get this stuck on one side. And then I'll just stick the other side in the frame in this pillar here. Went ahead and routed our 4-pole wiring across the rear here and secured it to one of the safety chain loops on our hitch. And once you've done that, you're ready to start using your wiring. And that just about does it for the look at the Curt trailer wiring harness on our 2023 Ford Transit 250.